CTM stock. It's one of the companies that has had the most kind of consistent trends that we've been able to play in the last few months. They're an AI, but mostly cybersecurity focused company that's under $100 million market cap. And you can see that we started covering them back here towards the end of 2024. At one moment, they were around $300 million market cap, so still small, had a spike, then consistently had consolidation and slowly building their market cap. And then recently, yesterday, we were able to catch about a 16% swing. I'm pretty sure that's what our trend was here. Yeah, about a 16% swing on CTM stock. And then we bought again and then sold for a profit this morning at market open in our daily live trading sessions. If you guys ever want to see our daily live trading sessions where we trade quantum, space stocks, AI, and definitely a little bit of nuclear now, we're kind of exploring some of the emerging tech markets, and see my entries and my exits, it's the second link in the description. Now, when it comes to CTM, they recently pushed below this resistance, and we were kind of expecting a little bit of a sell-off there. It's spiked out yesterday at $1.27 and then sold down as low as $1.10 this morning before recovering here today to about $1.17. So now it's at this resistance level. And there's three things that we consider when identifying a good deal in the stock market. The first step is going to be the market. And when it comes to the market of CTM, they're in defense, which is a growing market. And if we go look at their financials or the growth, we see really good market growth. We see more contracts, and it's because they are cybersecurity, which is good. That means they focus specifically on a lot of the same contracts that you're going to see companies like let's say Big Bear AI or Palantir or those types of contracts, because they got their awarded contracts mostly here with Navy. There's $100 million contract there, which is pretty consistent revenue for them. And then they also have some recent notes payable. They even paid down their debts. It was an announcement, I think it was yesterday. Part of the reason why they surged so much yesterday was that they paid down their debt from 12 million to less than 5 million. So what does that mean? Well, I was just having a conversation with someone the other day while we were traveling, and I was talking to them about CTM, and they were telling me that the reason that they liked it was because of their balance sheet. And I think it's really important, like even if you're day trading or swing trading, that we kind of went back and forth, but it's like, even if it's a short-term trade, to make sure that the balance sheets are good is usually a good practice. So I'll give you an example. Like right here, we got CTM. You see increasing total assets. Now, this is getting into our second step of our analysis, which is the financials. The total assets have been increasing 30 million, up to 37 million, and recently 41 million. And they just cut their total liabilities down from 15 million to 5 million, but that's not showing yet here because that just happened yesterday, and this was their recent quarter that they reported. So most likely with a drop in debt, their financials will improve as well in their next quarter. And on top of that, if you go to their cash flows, their cash flows, net and cash, have been a little volatile here, not really sitting on a ton of cash. But what I was talking about with one of my clients the other day was that if you look at this company and then you compare it to another company, like for example, ASP. ASP is airship. It's got a lot of people talking about it. They're saying, oh, it's a defense company, and they're definitely going to see more contracts or whatever. And we look at the balance sheet, and their total liabilities are increasing, and that total assets actually very, very slow in its progression. And so if you look at the annual, like total liabilities way up, right? So if you compare that and you look at that versus CTM, it's just night and day. CTM very blue, very green. So then the next piece of our analysis, aside from the financials looking fairly good, their recent move here on June 4th to June 6th of surging that 25%, now they're looking a little bit more like they've corrected down, and we're going to see if they can have a hyper bullish trend. If they start to really have a bullish trend and hold this previous resistance here as a support, so this previous resistance that they've had this trend for the last 2 months here since April, then the next level that we could be looking at is for CTM stock up into that $1.50 range. If you get into the $1.50 range, talking up into here, or even up into this, if this trend continues, $1.72. Now it's crucial because it's right here at this level at which it's a previous resistance that it broke above. And now we're saying, kind of similar to analysis we did earlier today in a session on Rigetti stock, that once it pushes up to something, it pushes above resistance. Now the next indicator is, can it use that previous resistance as support? While we're looking at this resistance, there's also times where that previous resistance acted as a support there, right? Right here, for example, we see it break above and act as a support, and then act as a support. So previous resistance oftentimes will act as a support. And the last thing we're going to watch closely is the reversal there on this shorter term, the EMA. The EMA is a blue line here. You can see that oftentimes acts as a support when it's bullish, for example, right here. And then when it's bearish, it acts as a resistance. So you see it getting rejected there the past day and a half. So what we're looking for is holding that previous resistance as a support and also continuing the push above this EMA up in this $1.25 and above range. Now, like I said, we sold for a profit this morning, about $250 profit, give or take, right at market open, because we were kind of looking at it. It was right here this morning up in this level, and we sold, right? So after that, it kind of continued down, wasn't really holding that previous resistance. So long term, we're holding the stock. I have some positions. Short term, I'm looking for this validation so that we can enter and continue that trend upwards. Now, again, we'll look for that swing. It could be a margin for profit of above 20 to 30%, and that's one we'll be watching closely. So we'll see if any opportunities present themselves at market open. And if you guys want to join us in our daily live trading on Monday, there's a huge sale extended for the weekend for Stockmates. If you want to join and surround yourself with other like-minded individuals, it's the second link in the description below. If I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button. Do consider subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next video.